What's up, everybody? How are you doing today? Ryan Kostroski here with the Ryan Kostroski Show. Time to address another subject I'm quite passionate about: experiences versus possessions. Though, guys, if you happen to be new to the show, appreciate anybody who subscribes to the channel, gives it a thumbs up, anything like that. Always sincerely appreciated. So, if given a choice between the two of them, where do I lean? Experiences all day, every day, all the way. I want to go live life. I want to experience some things. I've been kind of stuck in this bubble the last 10 years of being saddled with kids. You know how that old parenting thing goes. It doesn't allow you to get out quite as much as you would like. But for me, when you're on your deathbed, what are you going to remember? That trip to Jamaica or the car that you probably spent too much money on? Yeah, you got the extra bells and whistles. Maybe a few people on the road thought you were cool. I get it. Maybe if you're a car person, I'm not specifically a big car guy, but what are you going to really remember? For me, it's the trips I took, it's the places I went, it's the people I met, it's the things that I got to experience that are going to stick with me for a long time. And this is something I read about a lot. And I feel like a lot of people tend to agree with this one pretty hard. But yet, I feel like we spend a lot of our lives chasing possessions as opposed to going out and living life a little bit more. So I want to just kind of talk about share my screen for a second. So, and I'm going to bring up the car example again, guys. If you're a car person, it's your money. Go do whatever the hell you want with it. I'm just saying for me, this is an area where people tend to spend a little bit too much money and you don't get a lot of value back from it. It's a depreciating asset the second you buy it. So let's say, you're 30 years old, got your full-time job down, you make a decent living, you're going out to buy a new automobile. Now, I just picked an average car, Chevy Malibu. Decent ride. There's nothing overly special about it, but it's not a bad automobile. You can pick it up for about 22, 23 grand, depending on what kind of options you go with. It's going to get you to A to B. It's going to do its job. It's going to be, what you're looking for without offering it, any major flash or anything like that. But I can tell you right now, I'd be more than happy to have one. It'd be just fine by me. Now, you flip over to a low entry Mercedes starting at about $35,000. Yeah, it's going to be flashier. It's going to be nicer. It's an overall better automobile. That's the reason that it costs a little bit more, a decent amount more. So you're picking that up, or maybe you're 30 years old, and I'm not even going to weigh in all the extra, payments and all the extra interest you're going to have on your monthly payments and things like that. Let's just talk about what you can do different. So first off, just look at that $13,000 difference that you're going to spend on an automobile like that, and that's two like full out family vacations. If you're rolling single or rolling solo, you can take multiple trips for that. Or if you look at it this way, and I'm going to kind of think about like my in-laws right now, recently retired, going on a lot of trips lately. My parents are pretty well retired as well and spend a lot of time going on trips. Take that $13,000 you spent on a car, and let me ask you this. If you were to simply just save this until your retirement, put it away, actually save the money, at a return rate of 5.2%, which is not overly aggressive. By the time you come for retirement about 30 years later, we're looking at about $60,000 approximately, give or take. Can you imagine how much fun you could have going on some trips? You're still young enough, you can get out and do some things. That's what I want. I know I got to work for a lot longer, being the fact that I'm in my 30s and my savings isn't even what I want at right now. But think about what you could do with that money come retirement, all the places you can see, all the trips you could go. You could head overseas, check out Australia, go someplace warm, take an Alaskan cruise, whatever it is you want to do that's fun for you. That is a lot of extra cheddar to have lying around to go take some trips with. For me, that's the kind of stuff I feel like most people remember as they get older, as our own life comes to an end, and things that you're really going to remember and have a good time with. So now, I'm totally aware of the fact that a lot of people in America don't have a lot of extra income to spend on either possessions or experiences. But if you do, and if you're fortunate enough to be in a position to do that, spend that money on experiences would be my number one. Maybe not my number one advice, but definitely something I believe really hard in. I read, like I said before, I read through these articles all the time, and it's just a regret that a lot of people have that they didn't get out and they didn't live life more. Again, I've been going through this whole parenting thing the last 10 years, so I have to spend a lot of time at home. We got younger kids. My son's approaching babysitting age, though. So, I'm excited to start getting out more often, doing more things. I think that's going to be awesome. And I want to make myself do it. Otherwise, it's just too easy to sit at home all the time watching sports, which is really a big love of mine. So, another thing I think about would be, like, my wife works about 30 minutes outside of our hometown in Green Bay in a small town, and she tells me stories all the time about these people that live in this small town. And like most of them have never left. They've lived there their whole lives. But even more depressing is the people who actually like take it as a point of pride that they've never left the state of Wisconsin or barely ever left, and only for weddings and funerals and things like that. That's no way to go through life. As somebody who's lived a good portion of his life in Wisconsin, I can surely attest to the fact there's some cooler shit out there that you want to go see. So get out, travel. Even if you've got to travel on a budget. So we have some friends over on New Year's Eve, and one of the guys was telling me they do such a good job of traveling by using Airbnb. His big thing was you can't always pick where you want to go, but he's like, I'm really good at finding flights. All of a sudden we'll go to Colorado on a whim on a $59 flight there in an Airbnb. He's like, we can go take a vacation. The wife and I for 4 days. We can get back in town for $500. That's not a massive amount of money. I get not everybody has that lying around all the time, but that's a doable thing. You get out, you check out an experience, you learn something new, and it's just the better way to just get more out of your life. So, I just a couple more experiences from my own personal life. So, last year, about a year ago, we got to go to New Orleans. The year before that, we got to go to Las Vegas, and we hadn't been able to take a lot of trips. Partly because, like a lot of people, you don't always have the extra income for it. But we got little kids, and it's hard to get people to take your kids for a week. This year, no vacation for us. Instead, we bought new living room furniture. Now, I get it. We needed it really bad. Our old couches were like throwbacks from the 1820s or wherever we got them. They're really, really old and ratty. So this is stuff we needed. But I can tell you right now, I would way rather have spent that money on a trip somewhere else. Now, we couldn't make it to happen this year, and we needed those things. But if you give me a new living room set versus a trip to New Orleans, I will take the trip to New Orleans every day, because 30 years from now, I'm going to remember taking a little cruise out on the bayou and seeing, alligators and wild boars and things like that. I'm not going to remember this new couch that we got or anything like that. I often get jealous of my sister. She doesn't have any kids, so she gets to travel a lot. Yeah, maybe she doesn't buy the nicest stuff, but you want to know what? I get really envious of her because she's going on trips all the time. I feel like every time she's up visiting us and the kids, she's going to Iceland next week, or the week after that, she's going to visit friends in Oregon, and just going all over the place. Just get out there as much as you can. It can be difficult to make things happen, but for me, I just worry about making that a much bigger priority than getting a new shiny belt buckle or making sure I got the nicest jeans or car there is out there. So that's how I view it. Obviously, it's your money. Do whatever the hell you want with it. But personally, for me, I know that the things that I'm going to value as I continue to get older and get closer to not being around anymore are going to be the experiences I had, the places I saw, the things that I did. So I think it's a great way to prioritize what you do with your money. And if you have the opportunity, get out there, take a vacation, or even there's little things you can do. Like we really made a big effort last summer to go around to a lot of the state parks, and get out and just do a lot of hiking in the woods, just see something else we're not used to seeing every day. You can do those things for free, which is kind of nice. It appears to the cheapskates, or it appeals to the cheapskate side of me. So that's what I got for you today, guys. As always, thanks for watching. If you happen to be new to the station, thumbs up or a sub is sincerely appreciated. Outside of that, have a great day.